You know the drill. The best part of D&D is the high of an epic victory, but a close and much more common second is the hilarity of you, your DM, your fellow players, or even the dice making something absolutely dumb happen. It's hard not to enjoy a good bout of hysteria, am I right? So, when's the last time something stupid actually happened at your table? Leave yours down in the comments below. In my Sunday game, where I'm a player, a couple of weeks ago, the druid accidentally created a forest fire while fighting some orcs. The fire managed to kill a bunch of orcs, but now a pretty substantial chunk of the forest near Everska has been burnt down. During a one-shot of The Wolves of Welton adventure, never heard of that, I played a halfling ranger, high five, whose backstory was that she was a dairy farmer. The party came across an owlbear in the forest. I tried to do animal handling to calm it down. I rolled a nat 1. So I said that I attempted to milk the owlbear. The owlbear did not like that. Just see a prompt pop up in the corner of the screen. The owlbear will remember this. I DM Tyranny of Dragons. We just got to the rise of Tiamat. During the early sessions of Horde of the Dragon Queen, my party befriended, kidnapped, and terrified a cultist mercenary dubbed Jerry. They first encountered Jerry during episode 1, where they managed to threaten him into joining into their scheme to impersonate cultists and able to infiltrate it. If I remember correctly anyway. The Greenest Chapel. That plan fell apart as soon as they ran into some of the higher-ranking cultists. Later on in the Dragon Hatchery, they found Jerry yet again, this time drunk in an empty chamber. They managed to take this drunk man and use him to initiate Operation Human Shield, and managed to kill a lot of cultists. Jerry managed to escape their grasps, however, and flee. Later on, they found Jerry once more, again working as a busboy at the Roadhouse. Fortunately for Jerry, this time they ended up leaving him alone to inherit the Roadhouse after the previous owners died. Of course, the Roadhouse was actually taken over by the Zents, but it's the thought that counts. We were in the final phase of our campaign, which led us to a royal castle under the rule of an evil king. We needed to find a special room to do a special thing to save the town. You know how it goes. So I'm playing a tiefling rogue and have the largest charisma score. So I go up to one of the guards just to act natural and fit into the party this guy is throwing and decide to engage in some small talk. I tell my DM, I just go up to one of the gods, you know, and I just act like one of the guys. I want to shoot the shit with this man. Okay, roll a charisma check. Rolls a nat 20. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. You shoot the shit all right. In fact, you shoot all the shit. You are so one of the guys that he actually takes you on a full tour of the castle and you know where everything is. Needless to say, we got done what we were there for. But what I find the most hilarious is that it was my first nat 20. And it was just on shooting the shit with a guard. I absolutely love that. I remember about 5 years ago, one of my players had captured an enemy orc for an interrogation. The monk said halfway into the questioning, I throw a shuriken at the orc. Natural 20, right in the throat. He kills the orc and no information is gained. The ranger and monk start fighting while I laugh the entire time. There was once a cave. In the back of the cave were 2 holes lined with copper, about hand-sized and spaced shoulder-width apart, in what appeared to be a door. Well, our dragonborn paladin stuck both arms in before anyone had a chance to examine them. A slab of granite, about 6 feet wide, 8 feet thick, and 8 feet tall, came slamming down on his arms. Oh God, I can picture that and I hate that. Being 3rd level at the time, the damage those caused instantly killed him. After that, our rogue managed to momentarily stop the trap. We opened the door, seeing that there was nothing back there. We stripped the paladin of his belongings and chucked his body in to be pulverized. What? You're not going to revive the paladin? Okay, your campaign, I suppose. In a mid-level homebrew campaign, this Warlock illusionist elf, in an effort to help the paladin of Lathander in the party survive, had a habit of making illusory duplicates of the paladin and crying out publicly, "By the light of Lathander, I smite thee!" and throwing eldritch blasts from his, sword. He was one of the duplicates, of course. After a few game months of this, for some reason, he makes an offhand inquiry as to whether there is a paladin warlock weapon of Lathander out there. Not surprisingly, one of those really freak rolls there is, and they go to track it down. At which point, the next time he pulls the "I am a paladin of Lathander" routine, the deity informs him that he is now a warlock paladin of Lathander. Well, needless to say, he wasn't expecting that. But in the end, it worked out, and he's been working as a paladin ever since, and letting everyone know never to tempt the gods like that. Now, I'm running Lost Mines of Phandelver for some new players. I've let them roll their own characters rather than use the presets, as I want them to grow with their own characters. It's going really well, surprisingly, and I love running the game, but they are learning about cause and effect as we progress through the campaign. Some standout moments include Gundren Rockseeker, who sent a letter to each member of the party. Valeth, the elf rogue, Muada Gallier, I hope I pronounced that right, the human paladin, and Gallifregan, the dwarf fighter. Interesting dwarf name. Inviting them to the 3 Sheets to the Wind Inn in Neverwinter. There, they would find a wagon with mining supplies to take on to Fandalen and meet him for payment. Now, they were supposed to go into the tavern and get used to interacting with NPCs and inform the innkeeper they'd been sent by Gundren to pick up the wagon. Well, instead, they hitched a horse to the wagon and rode off, chased by a small mob who thought they were thieves. They thankfully managed to show their letters from Gundren in time. Whilst Valeth snuck into the goblin cave, Wadagalier and Galfregan waited for her signal to follow. Valeth didn't think to look around before entering for any signs of goblins. While on sentry duty, Wadgalia and Galfregan decided to share a skin of wine, not noticing 2 goblins following Valeth into the cave, weapons drawn. Clarg lay dying. The party tried to interrogate him as he was bleeding out to find out what happened to their patron. "You are no match for the Black Spider," he laughed, a trickle of blood running down the corner of his mouth. Wadgallier shook him, yelling, "What? Is he an actual spider, or is he called the Black Spider? Tell us!" We haven't yet made it to Cragmaw Castle, so we might not find out the answer to that question for some time. In my group, we switch DMs per campaign. It's kind of a bit weird, but it works, and it gives everyone a chance to develop DMing skills. And in the last session, my friend decided to run a Harry Potter one-shot. He changed some mechanics, I made a complaint thread about this, and we started. Our group loves, emphasis on loves, heists. Bank heists, caravan heists, you name it. This time, it was a Gringotts heist. Oh yeah. We decided to rent a medium security vault to store our priceless Danny DeVito, and then proceeded to rob it. We failed and ended up getting trapped in a room with a dragon. One of our players were one-shotted, we were level 5, against this ancient white dragon, and the rest of us continued to make our way through the challenges. After we made it into our vault and took back our Danny DeVito, we ended up getting trapped inside. I am normally a DM, but due to needing to be a couple of hours late to one session, one of my players ran a one-shot that I joined in when I could. We were level 6, attempting to steal something from a dragon's hoard while the dragon was away. The city was kind of a part of the hoard, and so all the guards worked for the dragon. Some willingly and some brainwashed too. Before the session, we were allowed to pick one magic item each, so I asked how powerful could it be and ended up with a Cloak of the Bat. One of the other characters assumed it couldn't be powerful and took a rope of climbing. Needless to say, when combat went poorly due to another player alerting the guard and us being swarmed with everyone, but us 2 unconscious and dead, I turned into a bat and flew away. He was left holding his rope with nowhere to climb to and surrounded by guards. At least I survived, though. I can just picture that now. Here's a rope of climbing, just guys standing there in the middle of the yard. Anyone want to tie me up? One of my players had the idea of starting a Waterdeep campaign. I was to DM it, but the players would have free reign on what they wanted to do. They were going to infiltrate Waterdeep's political system and take control of the government. I tried to tell them it would be tough, but yet they still persisted. I'm not so sure that they understand how the Waterdehavian government works. There is an open lord, Lariel Silverhand, a CR-17 creature, who is protected very well, and 5, correct me if I'm wrong, masked lords, who all sit in shadow. They wanted to find the masked lords, bribe them, and eventually take control of the city. I'm about to start DMing it soon, so wish me luck! And them too, of course, they're gonna need it. Let us know how it goes if you ever listen to this video. Our group had to solve a puzzle. Something simple. Think Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade type of thing. Great movie if you haven't seen it. Where you need to step on tiles with letters to form the answers to the riddle to get across a bridge. So the riddle was, the answer is your way, or something. And the word in tiles was the word pathway. So we all do it. But one guy who was at the loo during this explanation didn't see us or heard the answers, so he's there looking. Then find the answer. But we're all watching in horror as he steps on the wrong tiles and nearly escapes death, to which we're all like, what the hell, man? And he looks at us and says, did you guys forget that I'm fucking dyslexic? Then you could hear a collective, oh, yeah, a word puzzle for someone dyslexic. Okay, how about a numbers puzzle? Hey, man, I'm dyscalculic. Okay, how about just nothing? The puzzle is guess the door. Certainly that's got to be better, right? Hey, everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know in the comments below. What's something that was pretty dumb that happened at your table recently? We love you all. See you next time. Bye for now.